Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode on Farming Simulator 25. Well, it is December morning, and we have some stuff to do on the farm today. But before we even start any of it, let's check out and see how our productions are doing. So our grain mill is still doing good. It's cranking through that corn. Still has 52,000 liters, so that should be quite a bit of that maize flour. Everything else has run out, but the production for it is deactivated, so that way we're not being charged for it. Greenhouse 1 and 2 are doing alright. They're down a little bit of water, but I think we're fine for now. The mushroom greenhouse is doing well. Spinach is about halfway through. It is taking a while, but that's alright. It's not like that modded grain mill that's cranking through it. But if we have time, we might throw some more spinach in there and just kind of fill it up. I think we still have some in the silo. The rice sapling is doing fine. That's always doing fine. It uses very little water, and it looks like it makes us about $300 per month. So that's not bad. You know, it covers some of the production costs. Our small little sawmill over here on the farm is filled up and cranking away, doing what it does very slowly. The medium one, on the other hand, is, well, still pretty much filled up and cranking away a lot faster. We have 34,000 liters of wood chips. Let's see when that sells. Prices. Wood chips should be at the very bottom, so let's see how that looks like. That's January, so that's coming up. That's nice. That's going to be a nice little payday at $1,600 per liter. What did I wanted to see, because the straw, I think, is that today? That is today. And it is at $146 on its way down at the animal dealer. So we'll start off with selling that straw real quick. What I was really planning on doing was moving those silage bales out of the way and expanding our grass field. But I'm glad that I looked. Well, actually, I'll show you real quick. So I'll hook up to this really quick. So when I looked over on the calendar to see if I could plant grass, I can't plant grass for the next 3 months. I can harvest it if it's, ready, but I can't replant it. So if I was to extend it right now, there's nothing much I can do. So I'm going to leave it alone, let it mature, hopefully get another cut off of it for silage, and then expand it. And what I might do, just for my own peace of mind, because it does bother me, it needs lime. So what I might do is I might actually go ahead and go over the entire field, lime it, replant grass on the entire field, and it's done. I don't have to worry about it. But in the next couple months, what I'll also do is, let's see if I can make this turn with this trailer. I think I can. I cannot. We'll go through the farm then. In the next couple months, what I'll do is maybe I'll try to chop down some of those trees so that when it is time to extend it and replant it as grass, I can get a little bit more out of that field. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drive these over to the animal dealer. I'll come back, load up the rest of the straw, and drive it there as well. So I'll do all of that in a time lapse. I'll see you guys when I get back. Here we are at the animal dealership with our second load. Gonna go ahead and drop that off real quick. So that's not bad. 2 loads. First one was at 29,000, and the second one was almost 29,000 again. And that first load was all straw from corn, so that kind of came from a mod. I consider that pretty much free money. That's not bad. I think we'll end up doing a lot more straw in the long run since we're going to be doing a lot of grain, and that's all going to produce straw as well. As you noticed, I got 2 contracts going in the background. We got a cultivating contract and a plowing contract as well. They both pay pretty well. I think I might borrow the tractor from one of these, probably the cultivating, because I'll finish a lot faster than the plowing. And maybe I'll do cultivating on that cornfield that I baled all the straw from. I think that was field number 1. I don't really need to cultivate it because I have a direct drill, so I can just drill it. But I believe cultivating might improve the yield just a little bit. I'm not exactly sure. Though if I want to hit 100% yield, I think I need to mulch as well. So I might look into buying a mulcher. There are a couple things I'd like to purchase for the farm. One is a little kiosk. From what I've noticed from watching other Let's Plays is if you have the kiosk, its price is comparable or sometimes just slightly better than the farmer's market, and that saves me a trip out into the city, plus I can just sell it right there on my own farm. So that seems kind of like, you know, a more efficient way of doing it. I'm also thinking about getting one of those little fill silos, the kind that you can, you know, fill seeds from or fertilizer. So I might do that, put one of those on the farm if I can find a place to put it that's kind of out of the way and still usable. You know what, since this is empty, why don't we just grab these really quick, and that way I won't have to worry about it next time. And it shouldn't take too long anyway. I do believe there are 24 bales here, so that's the entire trailer load. But I figure this way, when it comes time to sell them, they're ready to go. I don't have to, you know, load them up later. I'm not really sure what's left to do in December. I knew it was going to be a pretty quick month. Oh, you know what? I think I have that canola, which is at its best price right now. Let's check that really quick. Okay, see, canola. That was weird. Last month it told me it was the best in December, not November. Dude, I swear this thing is just weird. Alright, well the price of the oil mill is still relatively close at $21.48, so we'll do that. One of the things that I could do is I can always purchase a grain mill. One of the mods I have, that's one of those old windmill style grain mills. It can not only do grain, but it can also do oil. So I could just do the canola oil. But I think the price is so similar that I'm like, let's just go ahead and sell it. We're close enough. But now I'm worried, and I wonder if I missed any other times. But we'll take a look after I pick these up. I really am glad that I purchased this autoloader here. It is significantly faster and easier to grab these bales. If I had to do it the old way and have my front loader come here and, you know, move them, stack them, and then throw them onto a trailer, it would take so much longer. Not to mention the trailer can't hold this many bales, I believe. Almost done. I think we have just the last 3 right here, which works out perfectly because we have room for 3 more. I guess that will be the bummer once I extend this field. It won't be 1 trailer load anymore. It'll be 2. Oh man, what a bummer. I'll be making more money. Close that arm up, and we'll go park it where I got it from. If we can make it up this hill, oh my goodness. Awesome. I did not think this was heavier than the straw bales, which were much bigger than these. And if I remember correctly, silage doesn't really fluctuate in price very much. So as soon as they are fermented, I can just go sell them. Back this, maybe not, too close to the rocks. The canola. And where was the best price at? The oil mill. Let's tag that because I'm not really sure where that's at. Oh, it's in the city. Okay, cool. We'll drop this off. I think what I'll do is I'll just do a quick jump cut and I'll see you when we get to the oil mill. Alright, here we are. We're back at the oil mill. We're just about there. I'm going to go ahead and drop this off and see what we can make off of it. Now, I only planted one smaller field in canola, so we didn't really have too much of it. If I had more, I probably would have, I think I would have invested in that grain mill and oil mill. Or we'll call it just the windmill. So I could have made oil. It's not bad. It's an extra $13,000. So it's a pretty good start to the episode today. Let's see if there's anything on the fields we need to do. The cultivating is going along. Looks like it's pretty close to doing the headlands. The plowing is going to take a lot longer. Let's see if any weeds have shown up. Well, the only weeds we have is in field 1, which we haven't planted anything in yet anyway. Field 29 and 33. 33 withered? They never even harvested it? I just don't understand how that works. They just let the entire crop die. That was a lot of cotton. If I had a cotton harvester, I would have definitely purchased them and used it. But 29 and 33 are ready to be purchased. I think I might wait a little bit longer, because there's nothing they can plant in there until March anyway, so I might as well just kind of wait until some of our stuff is at a better selling price. Everything else is growing that we've already planted. Everything's fully fertilized. That's not bad. I think that mulch is what's going to allow me to get a better yield on field 1. I think that'll be my experiment. So let's check the prices real quick and see what a mulcher runs for. Alright, mulchers, these are pretty tiny and pretty cheap. This is 5.6 meters at 12 mile per hour speed working with. That's not bad. That's the same, just a little bit slower. This is 12, that's 12. So this is 12.2 working with and a 12 mile an hour speed, but it's 78,000. I'm not sure if I want to invest that much money into it yet. I would like to if I knew it worked. Maybe what I'll do is I'll grab this one since it's a lot cheaper, and if I notice a benefit, I'll just sell it, suck up the loss, and buy the much bigger one. To me, that seems like it would be better. Okay, rear attachment. Rear attachment for what? Oh, you can put this on the front or the back. Interesting. It only needs 130 horsepower, so any of mine can drive it. And I think that's it. Sweet. Alright, so we bought it. Let's check the sales real quick. What do we have here? Oh, is this a medium one? So 302 horsepower at 140. And what was the large one again? Oops, I don't want to do that. Yeah, see, the two large ones are 420 horsepower. I'll wait. I definitely want a bigger tractor next. What I'll do is I'll drop this off at the farm, swing by, pick up the mulcher, and start mulching field number 1. And I'll do that all in the time lapse. So I'll see you when we're done. Welcome back. Well, we're just about done with this mulching job. Being able to drive 12 miles per hour does make this a pretty quick thing. I didn't actually get to time it to see how long it took to do this entire field, but maybe when it comes time to edit it, I'll throw it up in text and let everybody know. But it felt like it was relatively quick, and if this does improve the yield and I buy the mulcher that is twice as wide and just as fast, then I believe that this can definitely be something that I can add to my regular routine. It increases one more step in the process, but if I can get my yield up to 100% and then eventually purchase the MacDon machine and headers and everything, which increases the yield for grain harvesting by an additional 25%, then I believe I'll be doing some pretty good numbers. Which I think is good because these fields aren't relatively large, so if anything I can do to boost their yield and get more out of it is just that much better. I think once I reach the point where I have a lot of land, I won't be trying to really try to squeeze every ounce out of it. I don't know, I might. It all depends. It's tough to say. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave field number 1 as is for right now, and I'm going to do a little bit of research. Whoops. Almost went into my own field. I'm going to do a little bit of research and see what else I need to do to try to improve the yield on my fields. So I've mulched it. I'm not sure if I need to cultivate it, especially since my seeder is a direct drill, so it doesn't need cultivation in order to plant. But we'll figure all that out. Let's check the price on a couple things, make sure I'm not missing out. So spinach I'm obviously not selling, but I do have spinach bags, so let's see when those are the best. That is coming up in March. What else? Silage is whenever. Wood chips is next month. January is going to be a really busy month for selling, at least according to this mod that I have. Let's see, there we go. It makes it a little better. So wood chips is next month. Flour is next month. Rice flour is next month. Now here's the thing, this says straw should be the highest in January, but when I checked it on the regular one here, it shows now. What is going on? I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what to believe. So all the flours are basically good for January. The wood chip as well, and that's the grass, but we're not selling that. We're gonna wait until it's silage. Why don't I throw a little bit more spinach into the canning factory? And while that's loading, I want to see how far our silage has progressed in its fermenting. There we go. So this is, oh my gosh, it's already at 94%, and I cut it last month. So it's December right now. I cut the grass in November, baled it, and they're all a little bit different, but it has a chance to finish fermenting at the end of the month then. Wow. That really is a quick turnaround. So we're looking at a month and a half, maybe 2 at the most, ferment from grass into silage, and then sell, because I don't need it at the moment. Alright, let's dump this spinach in there. We'll top that off. There's still going to be some left. I'll just throw it back in the silo. And if you are watching this and are confused of why I can put spinach in the silo, it's because it's a modded silo by Omatama, I believe, the multi-fruit one. I like this particular silo because not only does it have a huge amount of space in there, because I can actually throw everything in here, and I mean almost everything. It's kind of nice because I don't have to run around and try to figure out what to do with something when I harvest it. Like even I took a rock gathering or stone gathering contract and threw the stones in my silo. So when I'm able to afford a cement factory, I'll at least have some rocks to start with. I say rocks, but you know, the game calls them stones. Pallets are still filling up pretty nicely, so when it comes time to sell all those, I believe all the vegetables are in February, or produce I should call them. The wood is in March, but I might sell them in February only because March is planting season, and I'm going to want to purchase some of that land before that, I believe. Well, I am sitting on $218,000 at the moment. We still have a little bit of time, so what I might do is let's take a look at some more contracts. I've completed the cultivating one, so maybe I can do another cultivating that's actually pretty close to where that one is, the last one, and I can just use that other tractor and do it real quick. So yeah, we'll take this one real quick. I won't borrow the items. I'll accept the contract, and what I'll do is I'll hop into this one here, and I'll just use this huge cultivator. At some point, I'll have to increase all the machines and implements that I have, the large ones like this, because as I'm able to afford these fields here, I'm going to need something that's going to be able to knock this out relatively quickly. I've definitely learned my lesson from harvesting those cornfields with my tiny and very, very slow and very, very small header combine. I was like, okay, lesson learned. I need something bigger and faster, more efficient. Let's set this up on steering assist. That is kind of horrible. Is it better with one? Yeah, one looks a little bit better. It's tough. I actually prefer doing 2 or 3 headlands just because it allows me to create enough space where I can really loop around quickly, but it really messes up some of the GPS lines. No, I guess I don't really have to follow them or use them. I just do what I want to do, like I did in Farming Simulator 22. I never really understood or had GPS on anything. But after using it here in Farming Simulator 25, I really, really like the GPS. Makes it easier, means that, you know, I can actually get nice straight lines. I miss less stuff, less time because I'm not going back grabbing, you know, pieces here and there. Alright, I think I'm going to do this on a quick time lapse, and it should be pretty quick. You can see how fast this is already. This is literally going to be, I think, maybe 3 or 4, you know, turns, and it should be done. We're just about done. But I'll see you when we're completely finished with it. Welcome back. You notice we just finished cultivating this field, and I was taking a look at what else to do really quick because the plowing contract isn't done, and I kind of need to wait for that to finish before I can end the episode. And to be honest, I'm really trying not to do stuff off screen so that way everybody can kind of see everything that gets done. So I took a look at it and I saw that the field that I want to purchase has a contract to cultivate it. Well, I was going to cultivate it anyway because it's withered, and I figured, you know what, that shouldn't take very long, especially with this huge cultivator, and I might as well get paid by somebody to do it. That way when it's time for me to purchase the field, it's not only cultivated and prepped for me, but they actually paid me to do the work, which I kind of like. It's nice to drive these contract tractors. They all seem to have at least a speed of 33. I think my little white tractor goes 25, so it's a significant little increase in speed, which is nice. Well, I'll knock this out on a quick time lapse as well, and hopefully by the time I'm done, that plowing contract will also be done. If not, I'll figure out something to do. Alright, I'll see you at the end of this time lapse. All right, welcome back. That was a pretty quick job, project, contract, whatever we want to call it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn those in really quick. The plowing one finished as well, so we got 7,800 from this one, 3,700 from this one, 2,900 from this one, and 1,300 from that one. That's not bad. Nice little influx of cash. Let's do a quick check on the sales, see if anything new popped in. It's a shame that combine isn't the one that I'm looking for or at, that John Deere modded one. The tractor is tempting, but I'm just gonna wait and buy the one that I want. We'll get a lot more use out of it. And the last thing I want to do is I want to add that little kiosk and prep for January's bonanza of sales. So I wanted to check really quick and see if the tractor could drive through this gap between the light pole and the rice field. And it looked like it wasn't really an issue, so I'm thinking the sell point should go there for the kiosk. And that's it, this small farmer's kiosk. I wonder what the difference is between the big farmer's kiosk and the smaller one. Obviously $60,000. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to put it pretty close to the road, but it won't let me, which is okay because I think I have a workaround for that. Now this says that it overlaps with another object, but I'm not really sure what. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it right here. Ugh, I hate it when it drops its own, in this case, blacktop down there. And then what I'm gonna do is, well, I guess I'll move it first. So we want to move it, and I have that mod that allows me to move things. So we'll shift it over here a little bit. And that's gonna allow me to creep up on that road a little bit closer. I think that's good. Yeah, that looks a lot better there. And then let us fix the paint here. What's the and it's been a while since I've done some landscaping, and I think what I'll do is adjust this so that it goes all the way up straight here. That looks a little bit better. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I did get an idea. We're sitting on some money, so I might as well just fix it now. Let's see. It wasn't in fences. I think it had to be in decorations. I never really liked having this little bowl here. I put it there because that was kind of floating a little bit. But then looking at it all the time, I got the idea of why not just have 2 of these on there? And I'll adjust that in a little bit. Well, they'll have to go lower too. That's alright. Now the only problem I have with the adjustments, you can see these handles are rather large. So it's kind of hard to get the perfect placement for them because you can't really see. Although that looks pretty darn close. Nice. It's easy to spend a lot of time trying to finagle some of this stuff into the perfect position. But if you're gonna play the game a lot, it's not a bad thing. It's gonna keep sticking out there and being like, oh man, I wish I would have done that. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to drop some trees. I do miss not having the cherry tree, so that's a large cherry tree for 200. That might work out. kind of hide the poles a little bit. Figure when it's in bloom and get the nice pink blossoms, that look pretty cool. Wonder if they have a small cherry tree. I don't see one so far. No. Why even have the word large there then? Why not just have cherry tree? Am I the only one who just thinks that's weird? Alright, I believe that is everything that we need. This should give me a pretty good angle to go in and sell from either side. This is kind of cool. This way, as my farm is producing stuff, I'll fill my own kiosk. People come to my own farm and buy stuff. That's the way it should be. Alright. I'm sitting on 261. That's 182 to buy. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy it now. That way I don't have to worry about it. Nice. We've expanded. Once we get back up to 265, I can buy field 29. I'm looking forward to that because not only do I get the field right there, I get a grass field to the side of it, to the west of it, towards the road, and I get all those trees up in the hills next to my sawmill as well. And that sawmill has proven to be a really nice production. We get a lot of money from that. So that'll be our goal in the next, probably next month, depending on how much we make from selling everything. If not, February we'll do it. And then I need to save up for the large tractor. And then I need to save up for the modded combine. Alright, let's check out our finances really quick. Month of December, we spent $21,000 on new vehicles. We got ourselves that Mulcher. Gonna check it out and see if that helps improve the yield on field number 1. If it does, I'll most likely sell that Mulcher, lose a little bit of money in the process, but that's fine. And I'll buy the bigger one if I can afford it. That way I can get that stuff done much faster. We spent $10,701 on construction, bought and placed the small kiosk, so that makes it easier for us to sell, as well as moved a couple things around to make it better, and then adjusted the, I don't even know what they call pot. Sold the pot, and then added more planters, I guess is what I get, I would call that for the light poles. Sold the pot for $100, got our money back. Bought $182,000 worth of land, which is fantastic. We've been looking at that for a while. Property maintenance was only $57 so far, which is really strange. I wonder if it's because it's the winter and there's not a lot of stuff going on. Maybe that's why it reduces the price, because obviously in the rest of the months there's a lot going on and it's a lot more expensive. We only spent $258 for production costs so far. We haven't sold anything else. Oh, we did sell some bales. So we made $57,619 from selling those straw bales today. That's not bad. And that should only get better since we're doing a lot of grain in preparation for the grain mills and then the bakery coming down the road. We sold $308 so far of saplings, because that's being sold in the background. Last month, we sold $416 worth. That's really not bad. That does help cover the cost of just kind of running the farm a little bit. We spent $375 on fuel. It seems I'm buying fuel more often, but then again, I'm traveling everywhere and selling and doing everything else, so I guess that makes sense. $13,685 of harvest income. We sold that canola today, which is not bad. It probably would have been more if I actually turned it into oil, but like I said, we just didn't have enough stock to justify buying a production and doing that. We made $53,860 in contract income. I was able to bump that up by running some contracts myself today. It was kind of a slow month, as I knew December would be. I really kind of wanted to expand that grass field, but not being able to plant and enlarge it right now just kind of threw everything, for a loop. And we spent $1,200 or $1,289 on contract workers. But you know what? That's still just a fraction of what they made, so for me it's a win-win. So we have a total of $79,084 left over, and we'll be using that as well as whatever we make from selling stuff next month or next episode to hopefully purchase that next plot of land. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a great day.